Oh,
Why are you doing it?
I don't know. Hey, what's up? Welcome back to our fifth podcast episode. I'm Connor McCann, here with my co-host.
AJ Pistols.
And we'll be talking about our Week 7 fantasy football reactions and football reactions in general. AJ, how'd you do in fantasy this week?
So this week I dropped 116 points. My opponent dropped 154.
So you lost?
I lost by a large margin. This week I thought it was smart for starting Carson Wentz because, I thought he was going to have a good game. But
against his former team, against one of the best defenses in the NFL.
Well, I thought because it was against his former team, something might happen. He might ball out, but I was wrong. And then obviously I made the mistake again of benching Matthew Stafford. I keep making that mistake. It's not going to happen.
I benched
again.
Matthew Stafford as well, but we'll get into that later.
And then Bijan had an okay game. 21 points for him, that's not even that good. So Kenneth Walker continues to be a disappointment with 6 points. Then we have George Pickens, who has been amazing, but only had 12. And then Rashee Rice's first game back, he had 23 points. I took the risk of starting him because I thought he would do good, and it did help.
Great, yeah.
Sam Laporta had another awful game.
4.5 points, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then I traded for Jordan Addison for I traded Travis Hunter and someone else, I can't remember.
Hunter had a good game.
And then Jordan Addison had 21 points as a wide receiver too. So I think that was I think it was a little bit of a steal. And then I this week I picked up the Jags defense and they got -4 points. So yeah.
So my team, had a good strong win. I beat John Wallingford by a lot. I started Baker Mayfield instead of Matthew Stafford, but I had already won at that point because Baker Mayfield played on Monday Night Football, and I already won at that point, so I didn't really care how he played. Christian McCaffrey, thank you for the 39.1 points on Sunday Night Football. DeAndre Swift had a great game as well, 124 yards, touchdown, 20.8 points in total. I had to start Ladd McConkey and Quentin Johnson, which I don't like doing. I don't like starting two receivers on the same team. But Puka Nacua is hurt this week, and he's actually on a bye week next week. So, I'm probably just going to have to go back to them. But, yeah, they both had, mediocre games. Ladd McConkey with 15.7 points, Quentin Johnson with 11 points. Sam Laporta, like you said, he had a bad game. He will be my only tight end moving forward because of a trade I just made, which I'll talk about. Let's see. Chiefs defense, they had 13 points. They played against the Raiders, in a 31-0 game. So Jason Myers, my kicker, he got 9 points. And once again, I had Matthew Stafford on my bench. He threw 5 touchdowns against Jacksonville. Yeah, my opponent John Wallingford, he forgot to set his lineup, and Mark Andrews was on a bye and James Conner is on IR, so they both got 0 points. So that really helped me out. But I would have won either way because if he started Devontae Smith, then I probably would have lost because he had 33.3 points. But overall, good team win. I'm proud of my game.
Yeah. I hope Kenneth Walker gets better this year because it's been so annoying having him on the team. And I guess the Seahawks, I don't know if they have, I guess it seems like the biggest issue is their line isn't really good at rush blocking. I think that's their biggest issue. Because, it's not like he got 17 carries, so it's not like he's not going in.
Yeah.
It's just they're a passing team this year, obviously, and their linemen only know how to pass block. I think that's the biggest issue. Yeah.
Can I talk about the trade I just made?
Yeah.
I just traded Tucker Kraft and Matthew Stafford for Drake May. So Drake May will be my quarterback moving forward. I'm happy with the trade so far. I traded with Toby Carpenter. Hopefully it works out for me. I'd like a better stable quarterback because Drake May is quarterback number 3 right now in fantasy. So, I just prefer that.
Yeah.
Should we get into the games?
Yeah.
All right. So Thursday Night Football, great game. Steelers versus Bengals. Al Michaels needs to retire. He is so boring to watch, in my opinion. My dad's watching this right now. He'll probably argue with me, but it's time for Al Michaels to go. He's so boring to watch. He just doesn't have the it factor anymore. But Joe Flacco's second game as a Bengals player. 342 yards, 3 touchdowns. He had a great game. Jamar Chase had 23 targets and 16 catches for 161 yards and 1 touchdown. So, he had a pretty good game. Chase Brown, I had him on my bench. He had a pretty good game, 11 carries for 108 yards. Overall, it was a very, very good win for the Bengals. They definitely need this. But that only bumps them to 3-4. And, without Joe Burrow, who knows how this team's going to do. Aaron Rodgers did throw for 4 touchdowns and 249 yards. He did have 2 picks. One of them was really bad. Jalen Warren, 16 carries for 127 yards. Pat Freiermuth was the leading receiver because he had 5 catches, 111 yards, and 2 touchdowns. It's a pretty good game.
Yeah. This game was absolute cinema. I watched it.
It was really cool.
It was a great game, especially against one of the 2 biggest rivals in the NFL. Yeah. It was amazing. It was amazing to see the 2 old quarterbacks too go head to head. And both of them just ball out when they're 60 years old. So
yeah.
It was a really good game to watch.
Yeah, 27 points in the fourth quarter in total.
Yeah.
For both those teams. Yeah. Next game is the Rams Jaguars. You're a Jaguars fan. You want to take this one away?
Well, while they were playing, I was in church, so thankfully I didn't have to, go through that pain. But. Yeah, pretty disappointing. They looked like the Jaguars looked like they did last year. They looked like the same team. Travis Hunter had his first good game.
He had his first touchdown. Yeah,
which was good to see. He had a lot of fantasy points. Of course, right.
The Jaguars gave the Browns so much to move up 3 spots.
I know.
They gave up a lot to get Travis Hunter. So
yeah,
let's see if it works
I
out.
think they're still developing him too.
No, I'm not jumping the gun on Travis Hunter. He's
the biggest issue right now is his snaps are getting cut in half with playing corner and playing receiver.
Yeah.
I think what he needs to do is stick with receiver if he wants, to be.
Mm-hmm. But he has the talent for to play both corner and receiver. And how many guys can do that? Really?
But that's his biggest issue is that because he's getting snaps on defense, he's not getting as many on offense either, and it's kind of canceling out.
Yeah,
I think he'll pick a position by his second year.
Oh, really? Wow.
That's what I think he should do. And I did hear Liam Cohen, I think, is their head coach. I did hear him talk about that a little bit. So
yeah. Here, my take on it is that they gave up so much to move up 3 spots for a guy that can play offense and defense. So I'm pretty sure they want the guy to play both offense and defense. But if he's only capable of playing one position at a high level, then maybe he should stick to that high position. But we'll see in the future. Trevor Lawrence had a good game on paper, but I watched this game and they didn't really do anything until the fourth quarter at all.
Yeah.
So it was he had 296 yards and 1 touchdown, but really it was 180 yards in real time. He gained a lot of garbage time points. Matthew Stafford had 5 touchdowns. 5 touchdowns, and he's 37 years old.
Yeah,
I think.
he's on a heater this season.
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
The whole Rams team is.
Oh yeah, the Rams look real good.
Yeah,
the Rams look and also every team besides the Cardinals in the Rams division, the NFC West, is 5-2 right now. So that's pretty cool to see.
Yeah.
Devontae Adams had 3 touchdowns. I faced off against him.
How many fantasy points did he have?
He only had 5 catches for 35 yards. So I think he only had 26 points in total.
Okay.
But obviously had 3 touchdowns. Obviously,
yeah, 3 touchdowns is still pretty impressive.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So I want to talk about Eagles Vikings.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
so
the game the final score was a lot closer than what it felt like. Devontae Smith and AJ Brown accounted for 304 total passing of Jalen Hurts passing yards, and Jalen Hurts had 326 passing yards total and 3 touchdowns. 2 of them to AJ
He had that
Brown.
big 80-yard pass.
To
Devontae Smith.
Yeah, biggest play of Devontae Smith's career.
Yeah.
Did you start AJ Brown this week?
I traded AJ Brown.
Oh, okay.
Which is very, a lot of the people I traded end up having good weeks, and that's just my luck.
Yeah.
So
it's just fantasy.
Yeah, it's very annoying, but
yeah. Sorry, Nick broke off screen. We're just getting 113 yards and 2 interceptions. Obviously, he played a really bad game. He had way more passing yards than I thought he did. But he was missing reads wide open. There was a pass you can look it up where Jordan Addison is like running up the go, and Carson Wentz is looking at him with no pressure, and then he decides to just not make the throw and just like run into a sack. And he looked very like just not good. I'm really hoping that JJ McCarthy just comes back next week and just plays good.
I mean, to be honest, right now the biggest issue for the Vikings is just performing in the red zone. Every game I watch with the Vikings, they move the ball, and then right when they get in 20-yard line, their drive stalls out every single time.
Yeah.
So once they be efficient in the red zone, I think they will start to win.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good take, actually. That's a good take. The Vikings do need to get better in the red zone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Patriots-Titans, Drake May, my new quarterback, I didn't have him for this week because I just traded for him yesterday. Drake May, 222 yards, 2 touchdowns, and he had 62 rushing yards. So, great game for Drake May. The rushing ability, it's actually kind of picked up this week. They are facing against the Titans, but Ramondre Stevenson, 18 carries for 88 yards and 1 touchdown. That's pretty good. Good. Yeah, the Titans, Cam Ward had an interception and that horrible fumble. Cam Ward's had at least 1 turnover in every game. He has more turnovers than touchdowns. It's his rookie year, so still giving him a pass. But obviously he's not having a good rookie year. But that's okay because his team is really, really bad.
I mean, talk about Drake May for a little bit. Set a franchise record, beat Tom Brady's record. He went 21 for 23, had a 91.3%. Sorry, what's the word I'm looking for?
A completion percentage.
Which was, it's incredible. I mean, the Patriots, I think, were losing by 2 scores at one point, and then they had 21 unanswered points. So they just completely flipped. Drake May and Diggs are going to be a really good duo in the future just because of Drake May throws some of the most beautiful footballs I've ever seen, and then Diggs, he has late receiver hands.
Yeah.
So I like that one pass near the goal line. It was, it was beautiful. So I think both of those two could end up being very good in the future.
Yeah. Also, they just won 3 or 4 in a row on the road. So that it's a very good feeling.
It is.
The Patriots from the beginning of the season, I saw that they had a very easy schedule, and they're 5-2 right now. So they're doing really well. They do have some tough games coming up, but we'll see how they do.
Yeah, they definitely won't continue to win as many games they are right now. I can tell you that, but I think they still will be a good team.
Are they the best team in the division though?
I think the Bills are better, but the Titans issue with them right now is Cam Ward. I know he did say in that interview, we suck.
He said, "I'm gonna keep Buck. We suck right now."
Yeah,
it's completely fair. They do, but
I think honestly, Cam Ward kind of sucks too.
He's sucking right now. Excuse me. He's not very good right now. So, but there's obviously potential for him to get better. I'm not gonna he's 7 weeks into his rookie season, so a lot of rookies have had bad rookie seasons. So I'm not ready to just say oh, he's never gonna have a good career because I'm not ready to say that yet. But
he this is the second week in a row he did that little backwards fumble again. I don't know if you saw that.
He would
That's why a lot of general managers nowadays they don't want QBs with tiny hands. It's like Kenny Pickett because Kenny Pickett struggled with this too. The ball would always, whenever he's holding it back here and about to throw it, it would always come out behind him. Yeah. And we just saw that same thing happen 2 weeks in a row for Cam Ward. So I'm wondering if that's a rising issue, but I guess we'll see.
The New York Jets dropped to 0-7. The Carolina Panthers beat them 13-6. We'll just briefly
I don't have much to say about this game.
I don't have much to say. Bryce Young did get injured, and he's probably going to be out next week with a ankle sprain.
Who's the Panthers backup?
Andy Dalton.
Okay.
Andy Dalton. Justin Fields was benched for Tyrod Taylor. Who came in for 126 yards and 2 interceptions. So. The Jets, honestly, I did not expect the Jets to go 0-7 to start the year. I did not think they'd be that bad.
It's
the Jets. I did not expect them to win the Super Bowl or anything.
The funny thing is a lot of new teams have gotten better this year, but it's the Jets and the Browns just continue to suck. I feel so bad for those two franchises.
Speaking of the Browns, they just had a great win against the Miami Dolphins.
They did. Was that their first win?
No, it's their second one because
Second win.
they beat the Packers randomly.
Oh yeah, I
But,
remember that.
yeah. It wasn't really like a Dylan Gabriel show. It was just a Tua Tagovailoa being bad.
Yeah.
Like Dylan Gabriel only had 116 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Tua Tagovailoa 100 yards, 3 interceptions, and got benched. But in the post game interview, his head coach said, "We need to stop throwing 10 picks a game." So when your coach is throwing you under the bus, I mean, it gets pretty bad.
Yeah.
Quinn Ewers is his backup. Zach Wilson is the third string. Honestly, just pathetic showing from the Dolphins. They only have one win, which is against the 0-7 Jets. So they're 1-6 right now. They actually had a great game against the Patriots, in week 2, but
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest factor of the Browns' win was Judkins. He had his first breakout game. He had how many yards did he have?
He had 84 yards, but he had 3 touchdowns.
He had 3 touchdowns.
Quinshon Judkins, yeah, I tried to get him, but Kyle McSweeney snagged him for me. And
Yeah.
Kyle McSweeney had 204 fantasy points this week.
Lord.
So yeah, he's got a pretty good team.
But yeah, I mean, it was good. Judkins has been kind of this whole year, so this was his first pretty solid game.
Yeah.
But Tua continues to be a turnover machine.
Yeah.
That's the biggest issue with him.
Yeah, his own head coach said it, so
Yeah.
I cannot believe he said that. Do you think Mike McDaniel will get fired soon?
Yeah, I mean,
I'm very surprised they haven't fired him yet.
yeah,
Like,
it's just a lot of people are
Yeah.
blaming him, but it's funny because 3 years ago, everyone thought the opposite, and he was one of the best coaches in the NFL.
yeah,
so I guess
you're absolutely right.
I
but,
guess a lot of
obviously-
things can change over 3 years.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I mean, I think they might bench Tua. I think that's something that could happen. I don't know
Paying
who.
him so much money is so stupid to give that.
Yeah.
It's very stupid to reward quarterbacks for mediocre play.
Yeah.
It's very stupid. That's going to set your franchise back,
Yeah, if
forever.
I was Tua, I would just retire. Honestly, I mean, he's already getting a ton of money. So, and he also
Yeah,
and with the
Concussions
concussions
thing.
too. It's just like, just retire, man.
Yeah. It's not a bad take, but I'd still want to make more money.
Yeah.
Saints Bears, pretty bleak game, pretty boring. Spencer Rattler, 3 interceptions, 233 yards, 2 touchdowns. Chris Olave had 2 touchdowns for 5 receptions and 98 yards. Caleb Williams had just a not good game. He had 172 yards, 1 interception. DeAndre Swift was a standout on the Bears offense. Honestly, there's been a few times where DeAndre Swift has been the standout for the Bears offense, and Caleb Williams hasn't. And Caleb Williams was hype. Like, he was not only the number 1 pick, but he was getting Mahomes comparisons, which obviously people are very easy to throw those out nowadays. But so far in his second year, he definitely hasn't lived up to the hype. But he also, you can't, it's too early to call him a bust or anything. He's definitely got the potential to turn it around. But so far, he hasn't been playing, as good as people want him to play. But the Bears, they're getting some wins, and they're 4-2 actually. But yeah,
I was gonna say that. The Bears do not feel like a 4-2 team.
yeah, they don't.
I mean, it's funny. Technically, they have a better record than the Jaguars, which better record than the Vikings. It's surprising. I don't know do they have an easy schedule this year or?
They've had a semi-easy schedule. I don't remember them beating any crazy good teams.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean, I guess we'll see how that plays out. Their defense looked amazing. I know it is the Saints, but their run defense was incredible that game. So that was definitely a part of their win. Alvin Kamara's just continued to struggle this year. So.
They play the Ravens next week. They beat the Cowboys.
Oh yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah, they but obviously they lost 52-21 to the Lions. They beat the Raiders by 1 point. Beat the Commanders by 1 point without Jane Daniels.
So Commanders, Raiders, and Ravens. Did you say?
No. They have
Play the Ravens next week.
They play the Ravens next week, and
That'll
I
be
think Lamar
interesting.
Jackson comes back next week.
I guess we'll see how that
Maybe,
goes.
Yeah. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess the Bears can be considered as a pretty solid team right now. So I guess we'll see. Because I mean, the only thing that they need to fix is their offense. Their defense looks pretty good though.
Yeah. So you want to talk about the Chiefs Raiders game?
Yeah.
I can talk about it actually. So the score was 31-0, but honestly, the score does not do justice. Like Geno Smith had 31 yards midway through the third quarter. He got benched with we got benched where he threw for 67 yards, and Kenny Pickett came in. He threw for 8 yards. Ashton Genty 6 carries for 21 yards. This was literally a pathetic game. Gardner Minshew literally played for the Kansas City Chiefs like for the entire fourth quarter, and he never threw a pass. The Chiefs started kneeling with over 2 minutes left, and the Raiders had all their timeouts. This was really a pathetic showing for the Raiders, and it really shows that Kansas City, they're still the Chiefs, and they're still good. And Patrick Mahomes is the MVP favorite right now as of Week 7 because Baker Mayfield just had a bad night on Monday Night Football, which we'll talk about. And even before that, Patrick Mahomes was the MVP favorite. If the season stopped tomorrow, I would give the MVP to Patrick Mahomes. But anything to add?
I think the biggest factor of this game was Rashee Rice returning. That was pretty impressive.
Yes.
Yeah. He, I don't know, I have to check again. He had a lot of fantasy points, 23. He had a pretty solid game. So he had 7 receptions for 42 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So, the reunion of Mahomes and Rice was definitely one of their biggest reasons for winning. Yeah. So those two, I think now with Rice back, I think the Chiefs will go back to being a good team.
Yeah. Colts Chargers, you want to start us off?
You got it.
Okay, sure.
I usually like to talk off of you more,
Okay. Colts got a very good, almost demanding win. 38-24. Daniel Jones continues to be very, very good. 288 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Jonathan Taylor is still, the engine of the offense because he had 3 touchdowns on Sunday. Alec Pierce was the leading receiver with 5 receptions for 98 yards. Tyler Warren is the best rookie tight end in the league right now. The Chargers, Justin Herbert continues to throw like a lot of interceptions, which is weird because last year he threw 3 all season. But I'm not saying that's necessarily a bad thing because he's taking more risks. Like last season, he was very not open to taking risks or anything. But in this season, he's throwing more and more interceptions. But he's also throwing for way more yards and way more touchdowns because he threw 55 passes on Sunday.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Because his number one rusher is hurt right now, Marion Hampton. He's hurt right now, and he's on IR. And to prove that, Justin Herbert was the leading rusher for the Chargers with 6 carries for 31 yards.
I mean, Justin Herbert had an incredible game with 420 yards and 3 touchdowns, and the fact that they still lost
by two touchdowns.
It honestly proves how the struggling with turnovers is so much more important than just stats, So once the Chargers fix turnovers, I think they'll be a solid team. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, Justin Herbert, he's got to throw to Ladd McConkey and Quentin Johnson more because they're on my fantasy team. So Puka Nakua's on a bye week next week, so please throw to them a little bit more.
Who do they play next week? Do you know?
The Chargers? I do not know.
Here, let me scroll down. I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Chargers play Vikings Thursday Night Football.
All right, now I want to talk about the game of the week, the Broncos versus Giants game. It was 33-32. The Broncos scored 33 points in the fourth quarter alone. I mean, very great game. Didn't you have Bo Nix at one point, or do you still have him?
I did have Bo Nix, and I released him.
You released him?
So that's another unlucky occurrence.
We can just make a compilation of AJ being unlucky.
Yeah, it's really annoying.
Yeah, he had 4 total. He had four total touchdowns today. He had 279 passing yards and 48 rushing yards.
I mean, it was definitely one of the most insane comebacks I've seen since the Vikings and Colts comeback. But it was definitely – I mean, the Giants literally dominated all 3 quarters of that game, and then the fourth quarter, something just snapped on the Broncos' offense. So I also saw a thing the Broncos scored 33 points in representation for DT because he died when he was 33. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Didn't the Super Bowl 50 team kind of have a reunion at the game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was
cool.
kind of ironic.
Yeah. Jackson Dart did have 3 touchdowns, and obviously in the first,
Dart had a great game. I mean,
yeah, Dart did have a good game for sure. Yeah, especially with his number 1 receiver being like Wan'Dale Robinson. Like,
yeah.
he's doing well without Malik Neighbors so far.
If Malik didn't get hurt, he's not going to come back this season.
Nah, he tore his ACL. He's done.
That's so disappointing, man.
It is. Also, it was the game that Jackson Dart went in, so
Yeah,
that is very annoying.
The Giants, I think, definitely would be better with him, of course. But even without him, even though they did lose this game, they still looked like a good team. So, I think they can definitely do some things this year. Even though they are 2-5, I think they are the best 2-5 team in the league.
Okay. Packers Cardinals.
Yeah.
The Packers 27, Cardinals 23. Cardinals are on a 5-game losing streak. Everyone in the division is 5-2. Time's definitely ticking for the Cardinals. Jacoby Brissett had 279 yards, 2 touchdowns. Trey McBride was the leading receiver as 74 yards, 2 touchdowns. Packers for Jordan Love. Jordan Love only had 179 yards and 1 touchdown. He didn't really have that good of a game. Josh Jacobs had 2 touchdowns for 55 yards. Romeo Doubs was the leading receiver. Honestly, the Cardinals had a chance to go all the way down the field and score, but then they didn't do it. Jacoby Brissett is like kind of playing better than Kyler Murray. So, yeah, AJ, you want to add anything onto this game?
I mean, Green Bay, the last drive of the game was pretty impressive. That was their biggest reason for winning. Also, considering it's the Cardinals and it had to come down to that is kind of concerning for the Packers because the Cardinals are terrible. And, the Packers, based off the first 2 games, they looked incredible.
Their only loss is against the Browns, and they tied the Cowboys in that great game. But.
So, we'll see. I think the Packers can be good. I think the Packers are a good team. Sorry.
Yeah, but they have like weird inconsistencies.
They do.
Throughout the season.
And honestly, that's just a Packers thing. Honestly, that's not even just a thing this season. So, yeah. Brissett, like you said, had a really good stats, but they still lost. So it just shows that Cardinals defense definitely needs some work. I mean, Buda Baker's getting pretty old, so. And I don't know if I can name anyone else on that defense.
Yeah. Next game, unfortunately, Jane Daniels just got a bad injury. We're going to talk about the Cowboys Commanders game. The Commanders' next 3 games are the Chiefs, Seahawks, and Lions. That is their next 3 games. Yeah, that is, and who knows how long Jane Daniels is going to be out for. Marcus Mariota threw a terrible, interception. Jane Daniels, before he got hurt, had 156 passing yards, 1 touchdown, and 35 rushing yards for a touchdown. He was the leading rusher this game, which is funny. The Commanders might be this might be it for the Commanders, depending how long Jane Daniels is out for. Because next 3 games, like if you're lucky, you're going to get one of those. But yeah, dropping to 3-7 or 4-6, like that's. It's gonna be pretty hard to make it to the playoffs with that record.
Yeah.
The Cowboys look good though. Dak Prescott looks like MVP candidate for sure. People aren't talking about Dak Prescott enough. He's having a great year. 264 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Javonte Williams, 116 yards, 1 touchdown. Yeah. CeeDee Lamb, Pickens, Ferguson. They got a good team.
The only thing I am kind of worried about now is with CeeDee Lamb back. George Pickens might not.
For your fantasy team?
Yeah, George Pickens might not be that good anymore, so that will be disappointing. But it is pretty cool to see CD come back and have a good game. But I hope they continue to throw the ball to Pickens. It would really be disappointing if they don't, because I think he has the 3rd most receiving yards in the league right now, and he's like one of the best fantasy players right now. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that would be very disappointing if Pickens doesn't get as many targets. But fortunately, it's probably going to happen. Yeah. This next game, Sunday Night Football, Christian McCaffrey, once again, he had 39.1 fantasy points thanks to his 129 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns and 7 receptions for 72 yards. Yeah, once again, Christian McCaffrey, leading receiver and leading rusher. Mac Jones did not have a good game, but they still won by 10. He had 152 yards, 1 interception. Michael Penix had 240 41 yards, 1 touchdown. Bijan Robinson had 14 carries for 40 yards, but he also had 6 receptions for 52 yards and 1 touchdown. Falcons dropped to 3-3. 49ers move up to 5-2 with a an injury roster. George Kittle came back 2 nights ago, but
Pretty sure he had zero fantasy points.
He had 0.0 points because he's just off an injury. I'm pretty sure they just threw him out there.
I think he's just blocking for the most part right now too.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they just threw him out as almost like a decoy. Yeah. He's barely able to play, but he's not really able to play, and they don't want to re-injure him because Bosa, Warner, and Purdy are out right now. Bosa and Warner are out for the whole year, most likely.
Yeah.
And Purdy's probably going to be back next week, hopefully. But
yeah. I mean, I don't have much to say. The 49ers kind of just leaned into their strengths this game with the run, and obviously Christian McCaffrey continues to be very consistent. The Falcons offense, I mean, they looked not how I thought they would look. I guess the Niners defense, even without Fred Warner, they're just still very dominant. So that's the biggest thing with them. Drake London obviously didn't have a great game. So I guess Atlanta, they continue to be very inconsistent, with the 30-0 loss to the Panthers.
That was a weird game.
And then they beat the Bills.
Yeah.
And then they lost to a team full of injuries. So it just – they don't make sense to me. We'll figure them out. But right now they don't make sense.
They are 3-3, so it's definitely not over for them. But, I agree with pretty much everything you say. So now you want to talk about that Monday Night Football game?
Bucs-Lions.
Bucs-Lions. So both teams are now 5-2 because the Buccaneers lost. Baker Mayfield definitely slowed down his MVP hype because he did not have a good game. He did have 228 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, but that's all from that's all from garbage time basically. I had him in fantasy. He had 3 points at halftime, something like that. So did not have a good game. Lions, they pretty much dominated. I mean, Jahmyr Gibbs. This was Jahmyr Gibbs' game because he had 17 carries for 136 yards and 2 touchdowns, and he had 3 receptions for 82 yards. So on average, he got 27.3 receiving yards, and he got 8 rushing yards on average. So Jahmyr Gibbs, this was definitely a Jahmyr Gibbs game. Jared Goff, once again, just did what he did. He did have 9 incompletions, which is a little high for Jared Goff, which is weird to say, but 241 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Buccaneers, I think you and I both saw the Mike Evans injury last night. So I think this year's going to snap the 1,000-yard streak. He's had 11 seasons of 1,000 yards, but
I really hope. That would be pretty sad if it snaps. But I can tell you, Emeka Egbuka owners are probably pretty happy right now because you know what that means for him?
He's going to get targeted like crazy. Yeah.
So, I don't really have much to say. I mean, obviously, like you said, Gibbs had a great game, and the Lions' defense looked very good as well. So now the Bucs with Evans' injury, I guess they look to bounce back next week, and hopefully they can continue to be a powerhouse. Yeah,
Sam Laporta only 4.5 fantasy points because he had 3 catches for 15 yards.
Yeah.
Last game we're going to talk about is Texans versus Seahawks.
Actually, I didn't stay up to watch this game, so I'll let you do most of it.
I watched the first half. So Seahawks 27, Houston 19. Houston's 2-4. C.J. Stroud 229 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. They have those numbers are even lower than I thought their rushing yards. Their leading rusher was C.J. Stroud with 2 carries for 25 yards. That's a leading rusher. Yeah. That is crazy.
Sounds like the Patriots.
No, that's worse than the Patriots right there.
Yeah, I know.
That's worse than the Patriots right there. I was facing off against Nico Collins, and he got 4 catches for 27 yards. My game was already over at that point, but I still didn't want him to get a lot. Sam Darnold, 213 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Cooper Kupp threw an interception last night. It was pretty funny to see. Kenneth Walker, 17 carries for 66 yards, like you said. No touchdowns. I mean, both rushing touchdowns went to Zach Charbonnet. So
yeah. Do they kind of do like a Lions running scheme where they put in a different running back near the goal line?
Yeah. I mean, Zach Charbonnet still has touchdowns. So yeah, it's gotta be bad. Jackson Smith and Jigba continues to be a top 5 wide receiver this
I
year?
said,
This year?
I mean, arguably top 3. It's
Yeah.
arguable. He has, I think,
I'm talking about this year specifically.
second
Yeah.
most yards in the league right now behind Jamar. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but like I'm not gonna put him above Puka, Jamar, or Jefferson
Yeah.
right now. So I'm gonna say top 5.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I didn't watch much of this game, but I
Mm-hmm.
know the Seahawks did have a lot of turnovers, so
They still got a good win against a Texans team that's 2-4 and like probably gonna miss the playoffs. I mean, they do have a easy division, but like I mean now with the Colts, actually no, because the Colts are good now, so the division's not that easy. But just Texans just keep doing what the Texans are doing. CJ Stroud is really taking like a step back
Yeah,
from his
man,
rookie year.
it's
Like he's
sad. What happened?
yeah, I know. He was so good in his rookie year, but these past 2 years, he's just been like kind of just
Yeah.
kind of whatever.
It's sad because you see this team on the rise that has had no postseason dominance within the last
They did have a playoff win last year
they did
against
but
Justin Herbert.
that was
Hmm.
it was the Chargers, so they're never good in the playoffs.
Yeah,
But Houston continues to be not a great team. They've never been a solid team in my years of living, but I hope they can be good again, and I hope CJ can fix it.
I mean they were good at one point with the Deshaun Watson Texans.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
even then, with that great roster and everything.
Oh,
and
they did have like some
DeAndre-
like 4-12 seasons. And stuff,
DeAndre
but,
Hopkins, they still
yeah.
had bad seasons, and they didn't win in the playoffs. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got anything else, Dad?
no, that's about it.
Well, I think that's gonna wrap it up for our Week 7 reaction. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.